What's up? How are you?
Good. I'm doing great. How are you?
Amazing. Doing so good.
Well, we have a packed room here. Lots of people standing in the back here. So this is great. This is crazy.
Nice.
I want to thank you all for showing up to the panel today. Festival.
What's your name?
James.
Hi, James.
James.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Danielle, I did meet you a number of years ago. I'm thinking about a decade or so ago, I did a short interview with you. So my name is James Burrell. I'm a writer with Rue Morgue magazine.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I've been writing for them for about 15 years now. I've written a couple of books on, one on Canadian horror films called Horrorwood North, and a book on horror movie collectibles. So if you're interested, you can check out Amazon, check out different retailers online for them. Rue Morgue is unfortunately sold out. They have no more copies. I have no more copies, but maybe you can snag yourself one online somewhere.
Ooh, nice plug.
Yeah.
Love
Good.
it. That was smooth.
Yeah.
That was great.
So, we have the iconic Danielle Harris and Scout Taylor-Compton and two screen queens here.
Yes.
So, in preparation for this, I had to, well, I didn't have to, but I went through all my films and tried to squeeze them in. And it's crazy. Some of them hold up really well, and some of them
don't.
I'm thinking, what the heck did they do there? But I guess we'll get to that shortly. So,
yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Sorry, it took me a second. I was like, oh, okay.
yeah. So maybe we'll start off with Danielle first. I was thinking maybe we'll touch on the two older films, Halloween 4 and Halloween 5, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
So, of course, you're most famously known for playing Laurie Strode's daughter, Jamie, in those two films. And also you played Annie in Rob Zombie's two movies, which we're going to touch on shortly. But I'm just wondering, having the distinction of being the only actor to portray two different characters as far as I know of, I did hear there was one other actor in the Rob Zombie movies that played two characters, but I can't verify that for sure. But as far as I know, you're the only actor in the Halloween series to play two different roles. I'm just wondering, how different were the experiences between the two separate sets of films for you?
Well, in Rob's, are there children in here just by chance?
I think I did see a kid. I did see a couple
Is there a
kids.
kid? I was naked. So that was very different
I like how that's your
from
first thing.
Jamie.
I was naked.
And he kind of fucked me up, right? He never got me in Halloween 4 or 5. A lot of running from him.
But he
So
tortured you.
He did torture me. I think Donald tortured me equally.
Yeah.
Right?
I was going to ask you
He
about
might
that.
have. He might have tortured me more. He put his hands on me more than
It's like-
Michael did. That's for sure. I mean, I just watched it recently, and I was like, "Holy shit!" That was awful. I was like his human shield. You know, that's really not cool.
But that was so against character for him, really.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, maybe he was just old and like, I'm over it. At that point, yeah. Take her, make this end already. No more of these fucking movies.
So speaking of Donald Pleasance,
Yes.
I'm wondering what were a few of your fondest memories of working with Donald, and also was he any sort of a mentor for you? Did he help you in any way while making these films, especially since you were such,
Yeah.
you were so young, 10, 11 years old when you were
Yeah.
making these.
So you guys, just to preface, we have a wicked sense of humor, and while we love this franchise, we like to make fun of it as well. And if you've listened to our podcast, you probably already know our senses of humor. So just gonna, just let everybody know. So I was 10, so we didn't really talk much. But he gave me his trailer.
You guys didn't hang out?
Was it-
We didn't hang out.
Was it kind of like a
Was it
father
like
figure,
yours
a
and
grandfather
my
figure in
No,
any way? Or?
I mean, no. He came on and did his job, and we did what we needed to do, and then we reverted back to his trailer. But when I was done with the movie, or when he was done with Halloween 5, he had this big 40-foot Winnebago, and I was in what they call a honey wagon, which
You
is
were in a honey wagon?
I was, yeah.
They give you a honey wagon?
Yeah, which is
God.
about the size of the table, right?
What the heck?
It's the room is about the size of the table, and then you have a little place you lie down, and then they're just pretty awful. So, so when I was done, they were bringing his trailer back, and I wanted to see it. I was like, "There's a bed in there, and there's a kitchen, and there's a TV, and all that stuff." And he was like, but he gave it to me. He's like, "They're not returning that. We're keeping this for you. You're the star of the movie."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh my God, this is so exciting! There's a bed in my trailer."
Well,
So-
you were kind of like the star, especially in part 5.
Yeah,
they
for
have
sure.
you right on the poster, right beside Michael Myers' mask and the knife. So
Yes, yeah. I mean, he was lovely. I always have this joke that I tell that if you've ever heard it, I apologize. But there's a scene in Halloween 5, I think, where I was telling someone this the other day, where Donald comes up to Jamie and he's like, "Tell me what you know, Jamie," right? And I make this crazy face where I just look at him like this, and I always say it's because it was the first time that I ever smelled bourbon. I was like, "What is that?" So it was more of not what's this weird old guy doing, but why are my eyes burning? So, so that's my fun Donald play. I never really wants me to get deep about I was just I was so young that I really didn't have the time to we didn't sit and chit chat about stuff. I would have loved to work with him as an adult. I just did a movie with Dwight Little, the director, and I was very curious and asked him, what was he like to direct? And he said he was great until 4 in the morning. Once 4 o'clock in the morning came, it was kind of that was it. He couldn't really get much out of him after that. But who really can do anything after 4 in the morning?
Did he drink on set?
Well, yeah.
Damn.
He doesn't give a shit.
Fuck.
He's a Brit. He's like, yeah, I mean, it's cold. You've got a hand warmer.
But I pass out if I
It's
drink anything.
freezing. Oh, he has many years of practice, I'm sure.
God.
But he was very nice, professional. Came in, did his job, was lovely to me. So he was a really good guy.
So Halloween 4, I mean, it's generally thought that it's one of the better sequels. It's definitely, there's a lot of not so great ones, but it's one of the better ones. I'm just wondering what you think of it as one of the sequels, and not just because you were in it. What do you think of the film itself? And do you have any really interesting anecdotes, something that really sticks out for you while making the film?
I mean, I think we got lucky because 3 was such a shit show.
But it's a good movie.
It's a really good movie to have Michael Myers in it.
Yeah.
So I think we got really lucky, and they wisened up and they brought Michael back, and it was a big deal. It was 10 years? How many years was it in between 3 and 4? It was a long time. So then they can do some things really good, and then they kind of mess up, and then they do good again, and then they mess up and they do good again. It's kind of this franchise is sort of all over the place. So I think 4, and also I think it resonated with everybody. At least everybody in this room is about my age, right? So I think that's the first time that we around 10, 11, between 7 and 11 or whatever is the first time that we are watching horror movies for the very first time. And to see a kid that's just like you being chased by Michael, it really hadn't been done that much before, especially that big of a role. So it's really frightening. And yet you're excited and you feel for her, and we all kind of grew up together, right? Which is why we're still sitting here talking about it. I rarely have fans that are 20. It's always everybody my age, which is awesome.
Yeah, I think we all started watching the films around the same time. I saw the first Halloween when I was 9, back in 1981 when it came on TV.
Right.
I was obviously too young to see it in cinemas, but that left a big impression on me. One of my favorite movies.
And it's such a great, it's such a great story, and all of the characters are great, and you like everybody, and you could tell the relationships. And Dwight was saying that he bases every movie that he does now on the Jamie Rachel relationship. that relationship was so strong, and you actually cared about the characters, and that that's hard to do. And we also had a little more time. Nowadays, we're making these movies in like 10 days. So it's very, very hard to do what we used to do. It's just got that like 80s nostalgic feel to it. And actually so this movie I did with him called Natty Knox with Bill Moseley and Robert Englund, I just showed Bill the trailer last night from Dwight, and what were you saying? You were like, oh, it's got that same kind of tone. Mm-hmm. That like really like the movies that we grew up with, that like 80s sort of horror, kind of like calm. I don't know. Everything now is a bit big and
a little bit simpler,
just
maybe.
Simple. If you just keep it simple, it's always better. It's like you don't ever want to show the man behind the mask. I think that they like to like throw it in your face, and it doesn't really resonate the way that I think. That's what the kids want to see. But the kids aren't going to the theater. The kids are the ones watching it on YouTube.
So Halloween 4, we can all agree it's a pretty good movie. Mm-hmm. It's not the,
it's a great movie.
It is. I do like it. Halloween 5, I saw Halloween 4 in the theater.
Halloween 5. To see what you think of this one.
So I took off school that day to be one of the first people in line so I could get a free Halloween 5 T-shirt that had your movie poster on it.
Yes, I used to have one.
So that was a promo shirt, but you had to be the first one in line. 50
well, in Fangoria magazine, you can sign away for it too, or you can submit. You filled out something in the middle, and you could send in, and then you could win one.
Yeah, I got mine by skipping class that day.
Amazing.
But so if Halloween 4 was a good movie, what in the hell happened with Halloween 5? You are. You got this psychic link with your uncle, and Donald Pleasance is like.
Let me guess, you loved Halloween Ends.
Emotional.
Yeah. Did you love it?
The Man in Black, like
we're so gonna roast you the rest of the day.
I don't want to know what you think of mine. I mean, I should just leave now. Shit. Anybody have any questions?
No, you're gonna make you sweat. I don't know what happened. I think that it was like too soon. Like they had the idea of like taking a chance of having Jamie be a killer, and I just think it was too soon. I think they were afraid. And I mean, look, they tried it in this new one. Waited all this time to kind of try it again, and when I saw the new one, I was like, oh, that's how it could have worked, because I've always had this dumb image in my head of like me with Michael as a child, like stabbing people, which looks really dumb to me for some reason. I don't know. It would be weird to watch that. I wouldn't have bought it. I would have thought it looked stupid.
Well, we did watch it.
We did, and in the new movie, which his kills were better than Michael's, but so yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think again, it was when they made it. We did it only a year after, and they wanted to strike while the iron was hot, and I think they should have just taken a little more time to sort of flesh out the script. And also, I don't know if you guys are aware, but this Curse of the Thorn and the guy with the boots and stuff, that was not in the script. That was what happened was we were in the middle of filming, and the studio thought that it wasn't scary enough. So this guy shows up on set to watch, and he's wearing this duster thing and boots, and somebody, I don't know who it was, if it was Mustafa or Paul, and someone got the idea of adding in another character to heighten the element of suspense, and then they sort of flushed out the other things after that. So that was a total addition to the story, and then they kind of went and rolled with it. But I mean, when I read the script, and I was like, I'm mute, I don't understand, so I lost my voice, but then I get it back, and there was a lot of interesting things. But I think the movie in and of itself, if it wasn't a Halloween movie, is actually a really good movie.
There are actually a few good bits in it.
Yeah, I mean, there
are,
You were great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you were great in it. You were great.
I mean, shit, I ran in front of a moving car. Like, I put me in a laundry chute
Child labor.
And shoved real knives through there. I wasn't harnessed. Like, there was just a considerable amount of that whole opening scene where I'm becoming, I'm seeing everything through Michael's eyes. We did that in one take. You know, it was like we had to get it. It was the 11th hour, and they were like, the sun's coming up. We have to just shoot, just roll. And it was like, what do you want me to do? And then they were like, Dominique, the director, was talking me through it. He's also French. You know, it's got a very sort of European style to it. The DP, I think, is amazing. He's still a very good friend of mine. Rob Draper did a great job. I mean, it was a difficult movie to shoot for sure. And again,
that's hard dealing with like a director from a different country.
Oh yeah,
that barrier.
I mean, I loved him. I thought he was great. I had a great I've always had all of the directors I've had a good time with. Yeah. Halloween anyway.
So were you going to be involved in the next installment in part 6? Were you sent a script or anything?
No, actually, my agent, they sent a breakdown out back in the day when the breakdowns would go out where they wanted a lookalike that was over 18 because I was I think just almost 17. And my agent was like, there's your headshot is on the breakdown services that they're trying to find a lookalike. And I was like, what the hell? Because it was many years later. And I was like, well, fuck that. This is ridiculous. Why can't I do it? And it was because I was a minor. So back in the day, I think even now still it's called emancipation, where you basically hire a lawyer, you go before a judge and you say, I'm going to be legally an adult. Your parents sign off on it. You have to say that you're going to move out of your house and all these things. And you're still going to go to school and whatever, and then you're given permission, and now you are legally an adult.
Were you emancipated?
I was emancipated, yeah. So it cost me maybe I think it was like $3,000 or $3,500.
You got emancipated for the job?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I did because I didn't want anyone replacing me.
Yeah,
you know, I was like, why didn't anyone even ask me to do that? So I went through the whole process, which takes a long period of time. And in that time, they started reworking the script. And it started changing from what I had originally read. Because I read it, I met with everybody in the room, Mustafa and Malik and Paul Free. I mean, everybody. And Dan Farrens, the writer, is a friend of mine. It just started, I don't know what happened. The studio started getting involved. And I think because that was Dimension, the other ones were not. So it was the first time that the Weinsteins were sort of like putting their 2 cents in. And studios never know what they're doing. And just was weird. So anyway, I got emancipated. We started to do the deal, and to be quite honest, they offered me $1,500 for the week 10 days that I was there, which was half of what I had made per week on the original one. Mind you guys, I know it sounds like a lot of money, but when you're getting $1,500 for a 40-hour, you're working. There's no child labor laws there, so you're working 14-hour days, 6-day work weeks, and then you have 40% goes to taxes, 10% goes to your agent, 15% goes to your manager, and then they put away 15% for your trust fund. So it ends up costing you money sometimes to work. You have to. I've had to pay my agent before out of my own pocket. And I had spent $3,000 getting emancipated.
Wow.
So when I said, well, at least can I make back what I had spent on my own? And they said no. They said, and I quote, your character is a scale character. You die in the first act. And I said, well, then I'm not going to do it. You know, and you guys are writing weird shit too. Yeah, like I have Michael Myers' baby, and like what is this? No, thank you. And I die this dumb, horrible death. Like I just didn't want to do it.
Do you think if you had been involved in the film, you had signed a contract that they would have gone in a different direction?
Oh, you don't have power like that. No, I wish. I mean, sometimes directors will take a chance and like they'll say, yeah, you'll yes the production, and then you'll kind of like do your own thing on set. And then they're kind of like, well, I thought this was, but no, it didn't. And then I actually just recently rewatched the beginning of Halloween 5 like 2 weeks ago, or I'm sorry, 6. And I was like, oh God, I love Paul Rudd. That once Jamie died, the movie got better. But like all the stuff with Jamie was so bad. So I didn't want to go out like that. And I think that so it also wasn't just about money. It was setting a precedence, you know what I mean? And I was bummed that nobody kind of fought for me to just be reimbursed for what I had paid for. But I mean, emancipation came in handy because I did other jobs being emancipated, which was good. I just wasn't expecting to, nor did I need to go, kind of go through all of that. Mm-hmm. And then I'm glad, maybe I wouldn't have come back for Rob's movies if I had done that. Because I was still alive in like everyone's brain. Mm-hmm. So, I think she's still alive, but whatever. So I'm glad I got a chance to come back and sort of redeem myself.
So I think that's
On to
the
you, Scout.
perfect segue into
crazy,
the
man.
Rob Zombie films. And I was going to ask Scout, you are
I don't
obviously...
want to know what you think about my. You see, I stuck up for you.
I'll stand up for you. I got it.
I
Go.
literally.
Go.
No, actually, no. I just rewatched Rob Zombie's films, and you know what? I really like the first one.
Nice.
Yeah, I do, and I think you
got
were.
one.
I think you were great in it, and I just wanted to know. I mean, you're playing this iconic role. You're playing Laurie Strode. There's only two yourself and Jamie Lee Curtis who's played this role. So, I'm just wondering if you felt any kind of obligation to kind of play it a certain way, or did you want, because of the iconic status of the character and the actress who played her, or did you want to just like blow the books away and just go with something completely different?
Well, I mean, I was 17. Like, I was a kid, when I got cast in that. And, I mean, I knew who Michael Myers was just because my uncle would fucking terrify me with the mask. Like, that's the only reason.
I used to do that with my brother.
Like, he would literally put it on the shelf, like, in front of the door so I wouldn't come, like, into the room. Like, he knew how terrified I was. So that was all that I had of recollection. And when the audition came in, it wasn't a Halloween audition. It was the Rob Zombie project. That's what it was. So I had no idea.
So you didn't even know it was for a Halloween film?
No, I had no idea. And so and that process was a long process. And when I got cast and then I found out that it was a Halloween franchise, I didn't know the love and the community behind, Michael Myers, or just like in the horror industry, altogether. And I learned it pretty quickly once my name was thrown out there. And a lot of people were comparing me to Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, a lot of people were. And, a lot of people were bashing me before they even, saw what I could do. And so, of course, as a 17-year-old, I was really intimidated by that. And it hit me. And the first day when I was on set, Rob came up to me and he was like, hey, I cast you for a reason. I cast you for your Laurie. Do it like you want to do it, And I did exactly that.
And Rob fought for both of us.
Oh yeah.
Studio didn't want either one of us.
Yeah, they fought hard, Rob. They were
Why did they not want? Did they have someone else in a specific actresses in mind?
They had for her role, because I was cast before her, but for her they wanted Brittany Snow and just really sort of teeny boppery, cheesy, that had big.
She was in the Prom Night remake.
Yeah,
did you see that movie?
I did, yeah.
So thankful.
What did you think of that? If you say good, I swear to God.
You know what? I shouldn't bash the film because I actually did a story for Rue Morgue on the Prom Night remake, and I interviewed the director, and he was a super nice guy.
Yeah.
And I love the original Prom Night.
Of course.
I did a retrospect on that, and I did something on the new film, but I
just don't. Anytime someone cries on film,
enthused about it,
and if they're not getting there emotionally, and I know you probably know you've seen this too. I know you could relate. They go like this. You know what I mean? It's like you're covering your face because you don't want anyone to see that you don't really have the emotion. So anytime I see an actress in those emotional scenes go to cover her face, or when you see someone that, and I've done it myself, and you walk in and you see someone that's dead, and you're supposed to have this big reaction, and you just are like, this is not working. You just cover yourself up, and Brittany did a lot of covering up.
I feel like a lot of actors and actresses of course are very afraid to ask for another take.
Yeah.
If you're not there, fucking take the time that you need, to get there. But anyways, going back to what we were talking about, I mean, I'd offered it to, Kristen Stewart. They're I think Kristen was the first one before Brittany.
Before Brittany, yeah.
Yeah, and then Brittany, and then my friend Danielle Panabaker. So, but Rob told me, he was like, you're the first person I saw and that I wanted. I was the first tape he saw, and I fought for you. So he's like, I offered it to people that I knew wouldn't take it because I was like, there it is. I was like, but I want her, But I'm so glad. I'm glad he fought. You
Yeah.
know? That just shows you what type of person.
Not a
he
lot of
is.
directors do. They don't
No.
want to go up against. I mean, Weinsteins are scary to go up against. Studios
Fuck
are
the
scary.
Well, I mean, he's a really passionate director.
He is,
really
yeah.
gets into what,
Yeah.
love him or hate him or his work. He's really
Yeah.
seems to put everything behind it.
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any couple of recollections of making the film or, working with Tyler or anything that really stands out?
Oh God, Tyler's like my second dad, man. I love that man. I love him. He'll never get rid of me. It's the same with her. God, I wanted to be her friend so bad. Fuck, I was like, just love me. And she was like, no, not until like a couple years ago. And she's like, wait, I love you. I was like, yeah. You see what I'm seeing now? Do you see what I'm seeing? What I've been feeling
Like
all
my
these
little
years?
sister.
Oh my God, I tell this all the time. She invited me over for a sleepover. Like to,
No, I think you needed a place to stay because you had
I
something to
wanted
do
to-
and you were living far away. I didn't know you were coming to sleep over. I thought you were going to crash at my house, so I had plans.
It was supposed to be a weekend thing. It was like a weekend. Yes, it was a hangout session. And she takes me into her house and then she's like, okay, bye. And I was like, wait, what? Where are you
I
going?
literally thought you just needed a place to crash.
No, I wanted to hang out with you. Whatever. It takes, it takes a while for people to
putting
like
her
me,
dues
right?
in.
I
Not
get it.
true.
I get it. But I mean, my fondest memory I have is turning 18 on the first set. And, they buy you a cake and all this stuff. And Rob got the candles where you blow and blow
Oh, I
and they
remember.
don't fucking go out. And I'm so gullible. So now I'm gullible. But imagine me at 17. I was so gullible. I'd be like, what's happening? Like, what's going on? And so finally he's like chuckling. Everyone's chuckling. And I looked at him. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? He's like, those don't go out. So I just grabbed the cake and I just smashed it on his face. And we had like a cake fight.
I remember that,
Rob
yeah.
was the only one that I like got really good. Tyler, when I get to Tyler was like, I was like, oh shit, okay. But it was fun. Yeah, I have a picture of Rob and I, and we're just covered in cake. And yeah, it's a good time, man. It's memories I won't ever forget, for sure.
Well, I think you did a great job as Laurie.
Thank you. Oh my God, I
Yes,
got a
you
great
did.
job.
Yes, you did.
You're a tough critic, man.
The ending of Halloween 1 is fucking epic. That ending where you're on top of him
Yeah, it's-
screaming is
it's really,
just
really
yeah, I
intense.
probably
epic.
asked you after that scene, can you be my friend? Maybe that was why. Love me.
So, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Yes. What do you
Is
think?
that the most misunderstood Halloween film of the entire series?
It might not be
Not
after
anymore.
Halloween ends. It
Not
might
anymore.
be very, very well understood. It's so crazy because, Rob and the Weinsteins were really butting heads during filming, and it was constantly fucking changing, man. Like, on set, it'd be like, oh, yeah, we have to redo that. This is rewritten. Oh, now we're going to add a horse. It was crazy. Like,
What
so
is,
much
what,
was
what is the
happening.
meaning of the
Yeah.
white horse? What?
It came
Somebody
out of
tell me.
nowhere. It came
Even
out of
you said, like, all of a sudden you were working and all of a sudden you saw a horse walk
I was
by.
like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I saw a horse and then I saw Abigail Breslin. I was like, what's happening? I was like, they were filming zombies or whatever, Zombieland. And I was like,
You're like, wait, the horse is for our movie?
Yeah, I thought it was hers. I thought it was her movie.
I felt like there was 3 different movies going on.
Yeah,
He had 3 different ideas because he said after the first one that he was definitely not going to come back.
No.
He was done. He was like, fuck it, I'm done. And then all of a sudden he was back. We were like, yes.
So did he do this to fuck the movie up so they would never ask him to do another movie?
I don't think he would do that on his own time.
I
no.
think it was like they were fighting. Like all of them were Like Rob wanted this, and then the Weinsteins wanted something else, and then they were changing it. Like it was just a constant.
I mean, I came back 3 times to
Yeah.
Georgia after I was wrapped out.
Yeah.
Like literally, like
was
wrap
nuts.
Danielle and go home. 2 weeks later, you're going back to do what? I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And it was like, you're gonna go stand in the corner and your camera, and you're gonna just shake your head and scream. Oh yeah, and then you're gonna get your throat slit. Like what? Huh? Don't worry, and then wrapped again, and then back again. Did I ever tell
Yeah.
you that I went back? I got called to go back again, and I got to the airport.
Oh, and then you said never
in
mind.
Georgia, and they were like, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "You? What do you mean? Like you had a car pick me up, and I didn't pay. You flew me here."
Crazy. I'm sure it's probably Rob probably didn't tell people what was happening,
Apparently, I was like, I didn't get on the plane by myself. If the
God.
car would have not shown up, then I would have not come
You
here.
can
But I
just
turned
tell,
around.
Like there's some cool parts in that movie for sure, and I mean, the way that the movie started was so cool and intense, and I really loved. I mean, when she wakes up and she's like, then you see like the trauma, like then you see it, and you visually see it on us, and Annie's character's doing a little bit better than Lori, and the PTSD of like up and down. I have people come to me constantly and they're like, I have PTSD and that's my life. It's like up, down, up, down. I can never get a straight line.
You don't see that much in horror movies.
No.
What the aftermath,
and
you
so
know?
it was, there was so many cool elements to it, but I think the pieces that are missing are the showing of what was happening behind the set, behind the camera. It was the constant tug and pull of Rob, and I fucking love Rob, and whenever, like, I've never seen that man so down in my life, but filming that movie, he was ready, he almost fucking quit. It was just like a struggle. And, Rob says, like, he's never going to come back and do another one because of that experience. But I'm hoping time has passed, because I hate that Rob has that bad of a, taste in his mouth because of that experience.
Yeah, he loved this movie. He loved this franchise more than anything.
He did.
So let me ask you, seeing that Jamie Lee Curtis is supposedly out of the picture for, the Halloween films, do you think that Rob and the pair of you might get back together and make a film, You could come back.
So.
You could come back if they, Sherry Moon came back as, the mother. You can come back. Maybe they'll give you,
but did we really see her like breathe her last breath? No. I just dropped her because fucking Michael was coming after me. I held you for quite a bit, which is so intense. That scene is like gets me every time. Probably because I loved you. But yeah, well, I mean, hopefully.
I mean, I don't think the franchise isn't over.
No,
like it's not. I don't.
We'd
think
love
it's
to
possible.
come back, but dude, we wanted to come back as a cameo. Like I was like, we'll play lesbians. Like we'll play lesbian lovers.
You just want to make out.
Yeah, because I love you.
So I read online that there was talk of a third film.
Yeah.
And you and Michael were gonna join forces and become this unkillable killing machine kind of thing. Were you ever sent a script, or did Rob contact you or anything like that?
This is the call that I got. I got a call. I don't even know who the fuck I got a call from, but I got a call going, hey, so we're going to make Halloween 2. Tyler's attached.
3.
You're 3, sorry. You're attached. We don't have a script. We don't have a director. Oh, and Rob's not a part of it. And then that was it. I was like, wait, what is happening? So I called Tyler instantly, and he was like, did you just get that weird call? And I was like, yeah. And there were so many different things. Like, he was going to be in 3D, My Bloody Valentine. And I think...
Yeah. The director, I think, from My Bloody Valentine.
Like, and they were like, all the, the socials were going nuts, and everybody was, like, losing their minds. I'm kind of glad that it didn't happen that way. And hearing the story that you said that, the movie was done for 4 and 5 so close together.
Yeah.
I'm just so glad that it didn't happen. I mean, but I do miss her. I miss Lori, and I miss playing her. And obviously I would love to come back and play her. But I'm glad that it didn't happen at that time because it didn't feel right. So I'm glad that we didn't get pushed to make that movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see. We got about 20 minutes or so. Do you want to take some questions from the audience?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Let's open it up to the floor. Yes.
First, I want to congratulate Scout for her engagement.
Yay!
I did it! I found somebody who loves me! I'm just kidding. I'm fucking taken. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. Did you hear my engagement? I was literally, do you guys all know what Burning Man is?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the desert.
Yeah, in the desert. I was literally in like mermaid chaps, and I was topless, and I was just having him take a picture of me, and I turn around, and he's on his, he's kneel down, and I was like, oh, well, I'm topless? And he was like, yeah. I was like, well, I'm topless? So it was very fitting for us.
Yes.
Very fitting for us. He's getting the whole package, so you might as well, enjoy it.
My question was for Danielle.
Yeah.
I was wondering, I know that you was supposed to do an anthology, but with the Edderland Camp, but it's not done. And
Yeah.
direct amongst friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering if there was still a possibility for another directorial.
Yeah, so I actually optioned a movie with, actually, I didn't option it. Joe Dante optioned a script for me a couple of years ago called Sequel, about 7 final girls and 1 final night. And which would be very hard to pick 7 of my friends to do this movie.
It's so hard.
We've gone back and forth a couple. We've re-upped the option because it's very hard. You know, economy's been really, last 2 years have been very, very difficult. So I think hopefully it was looking good, and then now it's looking bleak again. So it's just a matter of finding financing to do it, and then I'm on board. It's also very hard because I see myself, like I know that the writer is a fan of mine because the lead character is so me. So it's very hard, but she's like 21. so it's going to be difficult. That's the one role that I'm going to have a hard time casting because I'm going to want to do it, but obviously I would never
There's
star
so many
in.
like talented actresses right now. Oh my god!
I just need to hire someone that I don't
Can you do
know.
Florence Pugh? Oh
I don't know.
God,
I don't know who
she'd be-
anybody is.
What? Okay, I'll help you cast it.
Yes, please do.
So she would be fucking great in a horror movie.
So the goal is to do it, and obviously with Joe Dante involved, you know, he's like my childhood. I always blame him for my fear of fish, from Piranha.
I fucking love that you have a fear of fish.
Oh my God, I'm scared of fish. I swear. And Gremlins, like those movies still scare the crap out of me. So it's all Joe's fault. So hopefully we can make something happen for sure.
Yes.
I love you girls in both the Halloweens. I think it's awesome. And you got a BFF out of this.
Yes.
I'm actually curious. Have you actually seen Rob Zombie in concert together?
Oh, fuck
Not,
yeah.
I don't think we've seen him in. Well, no, that's not true. We did see him together, but you were backstage. I was in the audience.
Oh yeah, because he let me throw the balls into the crowd.
Yeah.
I was like, can I be a part of it? I was like, throw it over
Yeah,
to you.
he's sick. He's like a totally different person on stage.
Just saw him in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Louder Than Life, and like,
Yes.
like the monsters like thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just saw him like last month. I've seen him with Alice Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
Korn.
Yeah,
I've been seeing
same.
him for
We probably were at the
years.
same show.
He's so brilliant on stage.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I had to ask because
Yes, I've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
him like 8 or 9 times. Like every time he's in town, or I know he's in town, I go and see him. When I was filming the first one,
always with him.
yes, I love that. They're so romantic, man. They were romantic on set
Yeah.
too. Like they love each other so much. When we were doing the first one, I didn't know his music. Like I,
Bunch too with Lords of Salem. Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt you, but like it's just the fuck is.
Oh, heck
I
yeah.
fought for you because he felt like.
I know.
Yeah.
You felt it, man. Or I just look like Sherry. I have no idea. One of the two. But no, he like from my birthday present from him, he like comes up and he like has his hands behind his back and he's like, hey, he's like, I know you don't like listen to my music or whatever. And then it's like all his CDs from like White Zombie. He's like, here you go. So I've been a fan ever since.
And you know, he's not, when he auditions people, he's not in the room.
He's not in the room.
He's watching on the monitor because he says like he doesn't want to be influenced by the person because you are going to see these people on a screen. So he wants to see them for the first time on a screen and kind of see how that
Maybe I would
vibe
have blown
is.
it if you met me in person.
No, you
I'd
wouldn't.
be like, ooh,
No.
this chick. Funny.
Any other questions? Okay, we'll get you two guys. You first.
Why do you think people love horror movies so much?
Good question,
Yeah.
man. Because you can be so creative with it, you know? Like, the horror genre is just, like, you can be so out of the box. It's, like, the only genre that I feel like you can do that with.
Who doesn't love to be scared?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you can get immersed in the experience. It's why we love sitting in the front row of a roller coaster.
True.
There's just something exciting about that. Something happens in your brain, your adrenaline, and you can't get that in any other movie. Maybe action movies a little bit, but I think it's a different feeling. So to go to a movie that makes you feel something is, I think, really special. And it's a community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're kind of like the outcasts in high school. We've all like kind of come together, and everybody's realized that we're actually the cool kids, and they're not. You know?
It's a song. I love it.
Yes.
Okay, in both your opinions, who played the best Michael Myers?
Oh, shit.
That's like asking me to pick my favorite child. And while I do have one, I won't say it out loud.
What?
No, I don't.
Oh, I know
Depends
who
on
it
the
is.
day. No, it depends on the day.
I know who it is. Oh man, I mean, I'm always gonna be like, I fucking love Tyler. He's brutal. Like, he's so brutal, and he just has a presence, you know. I really love Tyler, but James is cool too, man. James, I really liked. Whoa, whoa!
I mean, I thought when we saw 2018, I was like, he's like, this isn't the way. He just seemed little. Like James seems
because
small.
we're used to fucking Tyler.
Yeah, but I had
You
two
know,
other
he's a
dudes
giant.
too
He's a
that are
giant.
like the presence was James is like nice. I don't know, like Don Shanks in 5. Okay, I can only base it off who we've worked with, you know, because all the guys are so. Oh God, they're all so nice though. It's so hard to pick. I really can't pick.
Don't pick.
They're all bring something different to it.
Who's your favorite? Tyler.
Tyler.
Yes.
I mean, he's the baddest motherfucker out of all of them. That's for sure.
Sabretooth.
Yeah, for sure. Tyler was killing it.
They had to make the knives extra big because
His hands are so big.
They're like, okay, we gotta make them bigger.
You know, she stabbed Tyler for real on
Okay,
accident.
bro. We don't talk about that. Tyler's not here.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, this is for both of you. What draws you to a role as an actress, and how do you sort of prepare for the role?
Danielle.
I mean, for me now, especially in genre, it's a few. Well, do you want the truth? Where are we filming?
Cold.
What time of year is it? Is it all night shoots? Is it all exterior night shoots?
Damn, you got a lot of questions.
Does it take place in the summer, but we're shooting in the winter? Which means we're in little clothes and it's fucking freezing outside, which is never fun. Who's in it? You know, what's the budget essentially, so you kind of know what you're stepping into accommodation wise, and you never want to be the one making all of the money because you know the movie's never going to look good. And you don't want to take it all, but usually nowadays they have like one genre star and then everybody else gets paid a little amount of money. I don't ever want to be that person. It just doesn't make anyone feel good. And what my death is like. I mean, I do movies that are $50,000 budgets, you know, it's like, but I wanted to do it because I got to kill someone with a guitar, like stuff like that. That's like, that would be fun. I want to kill somebody with a guitar. That's cool. You know, so I mean, and yeah, so your death and a lot of that stuff. And also like, I hate any kind of like, I don't like religious-y, exorcism-y sort of like, I'm just not good with that. No, I can't do it.
I love that
Can't
stuff.
read that, that stuff. No, I had to do like the Lord's Prayer or whatever in a movie.
Oh my God.
I've never heard of that
Those are so
before.
fun.
Do you know the Lord's Prayer?
Yeah, I do. Well, I just had to play it like a
See?
Jesus freak. It was my role.
I don't know, like when you're imagining like
Yeah.
summoning the devil, and I get a little scared that, you know, I'm going to bring that home with me, and I don't know, it doesn't feel right. Supernatural stuff doesn't feel right to me. I much prefer the slasher, simple, or serial killer. Like that stuff scares me. I'm not scared of stuff that I can't see. It just feels like I'm faking it. So I don't really like to take those. But I would like to be a vampire. I've been in a movie with vampires, but I haven't actually played a vampire yet.
Oh, I just played a vampire.
Is it
was
fun?
cool.
It's fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was sexy.
Or a sociopath. Like I want to be a
Yeah.
female serial killer.
They don't make too many of those. We should
No,
just write it.
let's just do it. I think women kill in a much different way than men do.
We have fun.
So yeah,
We play.
yes.
Play with our food.
It'd be fun. I also like an element of comedy to it too. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
very difficult. Like, and the reason why I love horror as an actress is because we get to carry the weight of these movies, the leads, you know, and we're stars in the horror world, but in the real world, there's movie stars that have those roles. So we don't really get those opportunities to tackle that kind of acting, where in a horror movie you really have a lot of work, and you have to show up as an actor, which is nice and what you want to do. And then after you've been tortured and raped and all of those fun scenes, you're like, that was cool, I won't want to do that again, but glad I got to to use that, those acting chops. That's hard. That shit's hard.
Dude, horror is hard, man. It's really, really hard on an actor. And we've been doing it for so long that it's like we could pretty much do it in our sleep.
Yeah.
And Danielle and I are very similar. Like we're very easy on off, on off. But like imagine like going through like a rape scene or like fucking stabbing someone and killing someone or getting killed and then going to get dinner at a restaurant with your family afterwards. I mean, it's a lot to carry. I just did a movie with Chrissy Metz, and she's from This Is Us, and she's, used to being in a drama, and she did this horror movie with me, and she just had such a hard time like breaking that wall. But when you've been doing it for so long, it's just
easy. It's weird that it's easy.
It's second nature. I don't know if that makes us.
I don't know. Maybe something's wrong with us.
Yeah, maybe. But I love it. I mean, I fucking love the horror genre. It's just so fun.
So we have a few more minutes, a couple more questions. Yes?
Hi, hello. How are you?
Besides your own franchise, what's your other favorite horror franchise?
Chucky. I love Chucky. Or, dude, fucking Freddy, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he terrifies me. Robert Englund is amazing, and Heather is. Love her.
The old ones, yeah. I mean, Scream.
Scream is cool.
Yeah. Again, it's fun. It's light. It reminds me of like being a teenager. Gosh, there's a lot. Yeah. I can't. I know we're totally digging the new Terrifier now. I need to check that out.
You guys like
It's
the
hard.
Terrifier?
It's hard to make new serial killers. It's hard, So I think I'm happy for these guys. I'm happy for the thing about horror that's so cool is all the directors and people that are involved in horror are fans. Like you don't get that in any other genre. I've never worked with a horror director that wasn't diehard horror fan.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. You want fans making these movies because they know what you want to see. So that doesn't usually happen.
And that's what makes it so fun when you're on a set. Like you guys are both geeking out equally as much. It's just like it's a community, as she says.
But it's like haven't you been in the position where like when I did the Hatchet movies, like Adam Green is such a geek that I'll be like covered in blood, like cannons of blood shot at me, and he's like behind the monitor, like totally like geeking out, and then like cut, everybody's high fiving and they're screaming and running around, and I'm just standing there like shaking, covered in blood, like somebody help me. They're like super into it. So, but that's fun. It's fun to see that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple. We can probably squeeze in a couple more questions. Yeah. Right.
Question for both of you. How do you guys prepare for really emotional scenes? Like, how do you get into that?
You go in a corner for about literally. This is exactly how we prepare. Everyone will be talking and laughing and setting up stuff, and they're like, and you just say like, okay, can you give me a 2-minute? Just give me a 2-minute warning if they remember to.
Yeah.
And then you go and you just literally close your eyes and just try to get in there, and then they're like, let us know when you're ready, and you take 30 seconds, and then you're like, okay, I'm ready, and they're like, you're ready, roll it, and then you just do it.
I don't like it quiet. I don't like I'll just right before they're like setting up and they're doing the cameras and stuff, I'll just kind of go into the corner and do it. But then when everybody's like, oh shh, I'm like, no, don't focus on me.
See, I like it quiet.
Oh, I can't. No.
If I have to cry, if it's like a real emotional scene.
No. I don't know. I it's like the energy I kind of play off of for some reason.
And then there's always that one person that will come up to you and be like, tap you on the shoulder and go like, are you okay?
Like, yeah.
Are you okay? Yeah.
Focusing.
I'm just trying to wait to find my fucking mother stabbed to death. I just need like 8 more seconds.
It's so funny. Like it's interesting like how fast, I mean, it's honestly how fast in and out. Like I'll be crying and bawling and snot will be going down and then be yelling cut, and I'd be like finishing my joke that I was just saying. And I'm just blessed that it's like that easy for us.
It's I think a lot of it is kid actors can do that.
Yeah.
I think it's that's
all the
benefit.
trauma,
Danielle, can I just say that when I first saw you in Halloween 4, I truly thought you were traumatized. Like you were so believable. Didn't she do an amazing job as Jamie Lloyd? You should have got like an Oscar. If the horror genre had an Oscar, you should have gotten it.
We're still trying to get horror into the Academy Awards. It's getting there.
What the heck, man?
It's getting there.
All right. Do we have any more questions?
I think there are these guys.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Let's try to get 2 more in maybe. Okay, you got. All right, the fellow sitting down and then the one behind.
Yes, Jane, I was just wondering about your return to Roseanne. Was it always supposed to be that short?
No, they didn't tell me they were going to kill me.
Yeah, because I was like all excited you were back, and then it's like, you're dead.
She was so upset.
I was very nervous to come back on the Connors. I have not done a sitcom since Roseanne. So it had been 30 years.
Crazy.
And it's very scary. And I have mom brain, and it's a lot of dialogue, and you're doing the whole episode in one day. You have to remember all of that stuff, you know. And no, I was getting weird notes about being super emotional, and I didn't understand the notes, and I didn't know till like on a Thursday, like when they finally told me, like, oh yeah, I know you're dying of cancer, and I was like, what? Well, that changes the whole tone of everything. Like, somebody could have told me, but I didn't know I was going to actually die. I thought I was going to do, because originally I was booked for 3 episodes, so I thought I was going to come back, and then after that episode, I'm like, I'm going to Hawaii with her, and then I just was like, I wonder, should I go out of town or not? Because I'm going to come back and we're going to do another episode, and then I didn't know till I was doing press for the double episode that day, and they were like, we're going to do a pre and a post-mortem. I was like, huh? Post-mortem? What? I don't understand. And they were like, oh, and PR is like, oh, in the second episode tonight, Darlene goes over to tell her that you're going to go to Hawaii, and your mom tells her that you died last night in your sleep.
Sorry, what the fuck?
That was pretty much my reaction. I was like, oh, okay, got it, good to know. And I was
like,
looking at my husband like, what the fuck?
Did they even say bye to you?
No.
Like, thank you, bye.
No.
Dude, TV is so scary. TV
It's scary.
is so opposite of it. That's not a family. TV
No.
is not a family. They don't
I'm
give
scared.
a fuck about you. They're like, say your lines. If you miss a
That's
fucking
it. Do
A in
again.
Yeah, it's like, it's very robotic. It's not free.
No, I much prefer
TV
doing
shows are
movies.
hard. The TV shows are
And
like,
being a guest on someone else's show, it's like first day of school
Do you
all
know-
over again.
Do you know how many marks on TV shows I've performed to? I performed like the
yeah.
lead actress or lead actor will leave, and then they'll be like,
and they're
"Oh,
like,
it's
here,
your
put
turn.
this here. Just pretend
Look
she's
at
sitting
that.
there. And you've got someone reading her lines all the way over there, and
Oh
you're
my
having a
God.
conversation with a bottle.
Yeah, it's crazy. It baffles me. I
Yeah.
would never do that to somebody.
No.
It's nuts.
Okay, let's try to squeeze in
Yes.
2 really quick questions.
You can come to our table.
And
We'll
then the
answer
fellow at the
anything.
end, you had your hand up.
Yeah.
All right, 2 quick questions.
A little against the grain, but Halloween 2007 is sort of my favorite one.
Nice. Fucking shout that shit out. What are you talking about?
Woohoo!
Woo! Don't you hide? Yes.
Final girls are usually, pure virgins, especially Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis. But your character, you're like a little dirty. Danielle Harris, you're doing donut home with your mom. I'm wondering creatively what kind of went into
Okay, first of all, she humped me.
I humped
first.
her.
Yeah, okay, she humped me. Oh my god. Dude, when I was doing,
You can be a virgin and still hump things.
Yeah. You obviously were.
You were not
a
listening to
little
our
girl.
podcast, right?
Yeah. You weren't raised as a little girl, you know?
Scout was humping everything.
Oh, I mean, come on, girls. Like, that's all we did when we were young. We just humped shit. That's all we did. Men are jerking off. Girls are just humping shit. It's true. Listen to Talk Scary.
You will never have another panel like this at this show.
It's so funny. I think it was being next to this one and Rob, like, that made that sort of Lori come out. I mean, I had that in me, but my parents, I was so sheltered, so that was like a playground that I could actually like explore those like sides of me or whatever. But the bagel thing, that was Rob. Rob was like, just do something, like finger the bagel. I was like, what? Thank God I knew what that meant. But I was like, okay. But we didn't tell Dee, so that's like her legitimate like reaction. She was mortified. And this
love
bitch,
Dee.
like when I was doing the auditions or whatever, we were doing the scene and I was testing. She's already been cast, and we were doing the scene, and she was just like, okay, and yeah, and I was like, what is happening? But I mean, it was just fun.
I was trying to get you to like be comfortable.
Yeah, because I was peeing my pants.
Yes.
Or my dress at that time.
All right, very last question at the back.
What's your favorite non-horror movie?
Dirty Dancing. Man, that was so fast.
Oh God, there's just
Little
so
Mermaid.
many.
The Goonies. Stand By Me. 16 Candles. Weird Science? Fuck. What's Weird Science?
Terms of Endearment.
What is that? I've never seen that. What is that?
And there's the age difference, guys. I mean, I love like Family Man. I love My Girl. I mean, I love like any like when Harry Met Sally. I had those lines in my when I got married. Like I
La
said
Bamba.
that. La Bamba.
La Bamba. Fucking love La Bamba.
I mean, Hocus Pocus. Like there's so it's the feel goods. Any of the feel goods, anything that like you can curl up and go like I feel like I did when I was 13 watching a movie on a Friday night home, and it's cozy like that. I love this. Is my favorite time of year.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty, huge thank you to Danielle Harris and Scout Taylor-Compton, and a big thank you for all the people that showed up today.
Okay,
We
Scout's
really appreciate it.
Scout's gonna want you to get a wave. Ready? And go. Think you guys are awesome. Thanks for putting up with us.